Good morning, afternoon, and evening, Supercoach Elites. Welcome back to another Supercoach Elites podcast, proudly sponsored by the Patreons at patreon.com/SC Elites. My name's Corey, and as always, alongside me is the Bonfz Express.
Choo choo! That's right, Corey. The Bonfz Express is back, and fuck, Corey, don't know what to say right now. Gee, very, very flat. But I guess we'll review round one anyway, eh? And look, before we do that, where can the listeners find us on social media?
Hit us up on Twitter at SC Elites and Patreon at SC Elites, Facebook, iTunes, and SoundCloud at Supercoach Elites. Flat is the right word, Bonfz. It's what do? We're minimum. I think, well, it was 9 weeks or 11 weeks or some crap like that.
E21, also known as my dog's birthday, Corey, in case you didn't know.
They've been considering, round 2, and yeah, it's flat. It's kind of lost for words. I went into Sunday on a pretty good score and looking all right, and then I had all my primos on Sunday absolutely shit the bed, and lost most of my leagues, and dropped a dismal 20.96, which wasn't overly impressed with, seeing a lot of the other scores out there, but yeah, what do you do, Bonfz? Then to find out that we're not going to have footy, I remember in Supercoach, I was like, oh, well, on to next week. It's, we can only improve from there, and now it's 9 months of sitting here with 9 weeks of sitting here with this shit. So, how'd you score, mate?
You were giving me shit all weekend about how bad my team was. I actually got you by about 50 points in the end. I popped a 21.46.
Yeah. You had Robinson on field as well, yeah?
Oh, man, I had Robertson, and a few other donkeys as well flying around, I would have thought.
Yeah, that was, going into my match day Saturday, I had 10 points, Segler, Nick Nat, Sicily, and Robbo versus Gorn, Neil, King, and Brander, and I lost.
What can you do? I mean, Neil pops a 150-something, and... I guess on any given week you don't anticipate Neil beating Sicily by 80 points.
But Robbo dropping 25.
That does not help either. I mean, so effectively, you've got Robertson losing to Lockie Neal by approximately 140 points. I mean, you can't. It's very, very hard to come back from something like that, Corey.
But your winners and losers from your team this week, Bonfz?
Wow, I'll tell you now, the celebrations, they were rife, Corey. Big Sammy Naismith.
Yeah.
121, and I'm glad I stuck fat with that one. I was very, very happy with how that worked out in the end.
Your loser?
Well, a bit like everyone's loser, Corey. Robertson, 26. Buderick, 44. Max King, 42. Tom Green, is that his name? 41. Yep. He was a bit of a donkey too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And... there's one other guy who I am very, very angry with, Corey. Marcus Bontempelli.
Oh, there you go, the Bont, yeah.
I've hated him for fucking 10 years, Corey. No, go ahead, Bonfz, fucking pick him. I had Brett in my ear saying he was going to be number one midfielder. I thought, look, last time I didn't listen to him, look what McRae did. Yeah. So I picked him. And you know what? Him and his fucking mullet can get fucked, Corey. He's as bad as useless as fucking... Matt Crouch's dynamic pace through the midfield. Fair income.
There you go. Yeah, Robbo, few the wrong rookies. Had Georgiades on the bench. Don't have Sturt. It's friggin'... Oh, there's plenty. Look, we're not going to talk too much about rookies, even though there's one round until they upgrade. I imagine them when we get...
Don't have Sturt?
No, I don't.
Jesus, Corey.
Yeah, yep.
That's an oversight.
It's an easy sideways trade. Yeah, I went Georgiades instead.
Well, you don't... Yeah. So maybe you have Kavara. Kavara might be the one that you have.
Bedford,
no?
Taylor, Buderick, Georgiades, and King.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So,
there you go.
Yeah, Georgiades 78 was not too bad, except I had it on the bench. Field him over Bedford and Buderick, and I'm winning my league this week. But story for another day.
That probably would have happened to me too. If I was so bullish on Buderick, wasn't I?
Yeah.
If I just left Buderick, if I was okay, because you know what stuffed me? Robertson, he wasn't named. So I had the option then for Buderick to fling him to the midfield and get Georgiades, and I would have played one of Georgiades or Sturt in that situation. Would have got 88. Then you know what would have happened, Corey? I also would have had leftover money. And don't know how attuned you were to last minute sort of frantic trades, but the only way I could sort of do my team at that point was if I went Josh Kelly down to Marcus Bontempelli.
Oh, no.
So if I had, if I wasn't so stubborn, Corey, and I moved Buderick to my midfield and just thought, fuck it, I'll play whatever other forward rookie, I would have made enough points to win the main league, Corey.
What can you do, though? Fisher McCasey's a dog, too.
Oh, I'm very happy I didn't start him. I contemplated the other way to sort of make some money in my team to get Bontempelli back up and all that sort of stuff was actually deal Robertson out for Fisher McCasey. And then discussing that in the Patreon. I can't remember which Patreon member, Corey, because there's a few of them that are quite active in there. But they said to me, Bonfz, you actually can't run the season when you've been that bullish on Robertson all season. I thought, hey, you know what? This guy's right. So I fucking took my own advice, Corey, and I fucking shot myself in the foot.
Yeah. Oh, well, plenty to do. Like I said, we're not going to talk too much about rookies. I mean, what are you going to do? If you don't have one of them that scored high coming at the start of the year, you use your correctional and go get them. A Sturt, Georgiades. I suppose you would have had McInnery, Curtis Taylor. Those names, you got to go get them. Let's talk about the ruckman, Bonfz, because it was, let's face it, it was the weekend of the ruck with the shortened quarters and the inflation. It seemed to favour ruckman a lot. I don't have the list in front of me of what they all scored, but the ruckman in my team was Grundy, Nick Nat, Segler. You had Naismith.
Sam Jacobs did a 130 as well.
Yeah. So
I've got the scores here if you want them.
Oh, there you go. Run through.
So we got Grundy 179, Goldie 136, Jacobs 134, Rob 133, Naismith 121, Rob 107, Big Bell Chambers scored 101 as well, Corey. Segler 101, Soldo 100 flat, Nick Nat 100 flat. Now, Corey, I just gave you 10 ruckman, I believe.
Yep.
And do you know 10 ruckman or more scored above 100 points? One of them wasn't Max Gawn.
Oh, no, crazy.
93. And Rowan Marshall, probably another popularly owned one at 92. And McAvoy at 80. All other ruckmen on the weekend scored below 80.
I don't think you can stress too much if you go on Gawn and Grundy. I'd probably even have confidence just sitting there seeing how well ruckman scored. I mean, Nick Nat played really, really well and is just an absolute monster. It's a matter if he's going to stay on the park or not. But if you've got Gawn and Grundy, don't stress. Don't think about moving them. It is what it is, and that's the nature of the beast, really. Who do Melbourne play next? GWS. He'll eat Jacobs alive. So we don't know when the game is, but yeah.
No, we got no idea. Hey, and look, just so, because, the listeners love to give feedback, Corey. There was one other person I did forget, one other ruckman. And you know why I forgot him, Corey?
Why?
Because he actually not even listed as a ruckman.
Oh, who's that?
Well, what do you mean, who is it? His first name's Darcy, Corey.
Ow.
Come on, he's a forward line player.
He's a ruckman.
Well, sorry, he actually didn't even score 100. He scored 94. I thought he scored 100. Darcy Fort.
Oh, yeah. We'll definitely
listed as a forward.
Conversation about Darcy Fort, because that was... sorry, you had me absolutely blown then. Darcy Fort's going to be the one that I think I'm targeting coming into our trades, but is he going to keep the Geelong spot, you reckon?
Who else are they going to put in there? That's the question.
Stanley.
Yeah, they may, but, I mean, he got the round one gig. He played a good game, so why wouldn't they continue on?
Well, that's it. Early doors, I'm trying to figure out how I can get Robertson out and Darcy Ford in, to be honest.
And it's impossible unless you got Brander in your forward line, I think.
I know, it sucks, but, yeah, lots of time to talk about trades. That's just the ruck debate, man. That's 260k. If he's solo ruckman, he's just absolute value.
Hold on a minute. How can you say that and then call Naismith not value? Or Naismith, not as much talk about Naismith at 250.
I'm just talking about the fact that you got him as a forward.
Oh, well, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, look, he's value. And, look, we might have Fort, Segler, and then 2 ruckmen available in our team. We might be running teams with 4 ruckmen by the end of the year. Who the hell knows?
Just crazy, especially if it stays to 16-minute quarters. Like, if that was anything you learnt on the weekend, it was just such inflated points from ruckman.
Yeah. And score change, I think, were very, very good. So by the time the back end of the fixture on the weekend, Corey, got settled down and, the app started working again and all the rest of it, and you could actually see the points that went up per touch, you could start to know that whenever someone was directly involved in scoring chains, that there was a lot of points awarded. So,
Devin Smith early in that game.
Well, he had 3 touches in the first quarter and kicked a goal and scored 25 points. But I think, in that 25, he had 3 touches, all 3. He obviously kicked the goal. The other 2, one was a direct goal assist and the other one was a clearance that led directly to a goal. So, 3 touches, 25 points. He comes out in the second quarter, has another 4 or 5 touches, all in scoring chains as well. And next thing you know, he's up to 70 at half time.
It's crazy. Crazy. Because if
Bonkers.
you don't know, I moved him before the game so I could get Johnny Noble in.
Yeah.
Down back.
Which probably not a bad move considering the person you got ahead of Devon at the moment was Segler, and they pretty much went toe for toe. And Noble, I imagine, would have significantly outscored whoever your bench rookie was.
Yeah, definitely would have been Brander.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He went up.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, this just feels crazy. Did we miss a boat in Lockie Neal, or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I think those really high ball getters are going to be very, very important. So it's just a matter of we saw Danger and we saw Bont, and they don't get 30 touches all that consistently, and very rarely get 40. Now the issue here would be, you'd expect them to get a few more points from scoring chains, but with their teams taking some pretty bad losses on the weekend, we just didn't see the points awarded to them. So I think we can expect that to bounce back, but it might just be a bit more fluctuations, I believe, in those kind of players scoring, Dangerfield, Bont, Kelly, those kinds. Whereas, your players like Titch, McRae, Cripps, Neal might be a bit more consistent because it's all just pure numbers and weight through ball.
How funny was Fife's eye, by the way?
Oh, did you see the video the next day when he had the specs on, the shades?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny, that. And yeah, I can't believe I think I rattled off about 10 midfielders there and didn't mention Fife, but Fife probably fits into that kind of Danger and Bontempelli kind of category as well, I'd imagine.
Jack Viney, top scorer for the week, 186. Benny Cunnington, 185.
Absolutely fucked, Corey.
Oh, was that Kenny, 152?
Just on a side note, Jack Viney, I don't know if you paid attention to the draft league. Pretty much, Viney had to score 166 for my opponent to win, and he came out and did 186.
Wow.
I mean, talk about fucking stiff.
Your boy Chad Wingard, 131. Jai Simpkin, who I got in basically every draft league, 131. There's some massive scores.
And these are those kind of half-forward players who are able to get 15 touches, 2 goals. So everything kind of seemed to favour them in a way, didn't it? So if you can kind of get a few goals and hit the scoreboard, you're good. I think you're good in Supercoach this year with short and quarters. So, your Wingards, I don't know if I'm going to put Simpkin in that category.
Midfield, bro.
He did play in the midfield. But those kind of high half forwards, I kind of like them at this point. Jack Billings, didn't he have a good game in the league?
Yeah, 120.
Yep. So, those kind of players, I think, might be very, very good. I mean, there was obviously Jack Martin as well from Carlton.
Yeah.
Who kicked a few snags on the weekend. Just trying to think off the top of my head, any other kind of players like that. Maybe your Toby Green types. What did Toby Green score on the weekend?
No idea.
So probably should have known.
I was going
108. Yeah, 108. So, those kind of players that can kick goals and still get you 15 to 20 touches in the short game time, I think they're going to be worth their weight in gold this year. So, look, we'll just have to see how that plays out. But, all indicators from the first round is that, that's all systems go. Yeah. Dan Houston, though, I mean, he's a flog. I mean, he asked me.
That was great. Sicily and Houston.
But you know what the thing is? I'm more angry at Houston than I am with Sicily. Work that one out.
He was in and around the ball. He just wasn't doing much.
He's fucking shit, this Houston guy. Fair income.
Well, yeah, shout out to Bretta, who dropped 15972 this week.
Oh, and if you talk about fucking idiots, I mean, he had Riley O'Brien on his bench who didn't even emergency. He didn't start Sam Doherty for 117. I mean, what else does he expect?
Has he got to go?
Yeah, he does, yeah. He dropped 50. He started Petrarca as well. He's fair income that, he reckons that season's not going to go ahead. This is a joke. So he goes, I'm just going to have a bit of fun with my team this year.
He's still entering the Elite E21 Cash League.
I hope he gets relegated, Corey. We just need the excuse to get rid of him for good on this podcast.
Shout out to the Elites Patreon League. I came up against Kiani Wombats, I think is the way that it's pronounced. He dropped a 2-2-3-8. Smashed me with a 2-0-9-6. Bonfz, who did you play here? Where are you?
I had the, is this Elite? Yeah, Gayfer All-Stars.
Oh, Gayfer All-Stars.
M. Gayfer All-Stars. And he dropped a 22.88, so he had me covered by about 140.
Yeah, there you go. Oh. Did you win any cashies that you wanted to? Or
cash leagues, yep. So I'm just having a look here. So I've got one win here in a cashie. I think that's probably about it.
Yeah,
I only got 3 cashies, 2 losses, and a win.
Yeah,
that's how
I managed to sneak 2 wins in cash leagues. 3 wins in cash leagues actually. One of them was $100 league too. Yeah, not bad.
That's very handy.
Yeah, I thought I would have lost every league. I was, pretty filth. Not that great. What are we doing for podcasts, by the way?
Mate, I don't know, because people are at home, Corey, so they're probably going to want to listen. But I mean, we have nothing essentially to talk about because we've got the season start. We don't even know when the next game is going to come. It's not like we have teams to kind of review at the moment. We're in a bit of a tough spot. So in terms of the podcast, what we've been doing, and just so kind of everyone's aware, is that people who signed up to Patreon for this month, we're actually just going to carry that over for free for those Patreon members, aren't we, Corey? And just just play some video games, have some chats, do whatever. We're growing close to the community through this, I think, aren't we, Corey?
Yeah, you and Daz are really bonding.
Oh, well, I'll tell you now, if there's one person I ain't bonding with, it's that cockhead, I'll tell you now.
There were 90... Now, I don't know stats. There was 90 players that scored over 100 this week. Is that normal? Does that normally happen?
Well, how many games? That's 10 players per game, about 5 per team. I would say that is a little bit above. I would say maybe you'd get 75 to 80 tons per week.
Yeah, which is crazy. I wonder how many were below 40.
Sorry?
If I go the reverse total, no, that's going to skew it bad because there's a lot of zeros in there. Didn't think that so much. Look, maybe we just come back maybe we just do a couple of short potties throughout the year. Bumps on the lead up, We've
check in every now and then.
Got this one this week where we've basically talked about absolutely nothing. Maybe we'll just bring a full kind of in-depth rookie one going forward, a primo one. Just basically chatting is literally all we can do.
Just redo all of the pre-season potties with one round of data information. So we'll do just the whole team. We'll do Adelaide, Brisbane, Carlton. Quick 5 podcast. We'll just do the whole fucking. I mean, I don't know about. Well, I mean, we don't know what's going on with the community out there, but we can imagine, given everything we hear about people losing their jobs, and we hope that people that hasn't affected too many out there that sort of listen to this program and the people out there as a general population. But the reality is that there's probably a large number of people now who have either out of a job or struggling to kind of make ends meet, and maybe listening to our fucking voices might put a little smile on their face for a short portion of the day, mate.
We will try and bring you as much content with the little relative information as we can. Dylan Robert had break even 73.
No, that can't be right.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Because technically he's still got the score. Don't they have the score of what their point value is in their system as well at the moment?
Oh, I've got no idea.
Yeah, I think so.
Sam Naismith, -25. That's a bit unders.
Yeah, not bad.
That's the only one that's really looking forward to seeing. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, well, after his next game, that'll plummet to a -60 or 70, I reckon. Good pick, that, by the way.
Well, it's flat because I feel like I've just, had the balls finally to do something like this. I've done it, and the season's halted, and oh man, who knows what? I got nothing, man. I got nothing.
What are the pay cuts on offer? Didn't the AFLPA offer 50% and get knocked back or something?
No, they offered 50% of the players because the AFL apparently wanted 75 to 80%.
Yeah.
Which, look, I understand that, in order maybe for clubs to survive and all the rest of it, that they may need to take some pay cuts. But I don't know if you're more knowledgeable in this area, Corey. Do the players not get their wage directly from the AFL and not the clubs?
I'd have no idea.
Isn't the salary cap where the AFL gives, say, 12 million to club and says, okay, this is strictly for player payments. Here's the money, pay your players.
I would have no idea.
And so if that's not the case, the AFL then just reducing salary caps and whatnot, I'm not too sure. So to me, I didn't think clubs had to raise the revenue to pay their players and then, have, limits on what they can kind of spend. I thought that all came from the AFL.
We'll have to do a little bit more in-depth research.
Bit bizarre. But you know what? If they are genuinely going to play 17 games this year, and let's say, 22 games, okay, we get that, I'd be fucking filthy. The AFL offering 80% off their wages. I mean, they put in, 4 months of pre-season to play a, 4-month season or whatever it is, 5-month season, and they want to take 80%. Mate, they're fucking present. They play 17 out of 22 games. They should be getting 70% of their wage, not 70% of it cut.
Who knows what's going to happen? That's it. That's the world we're in at the moment. It's all up in the air.
Hey, I'll tell you now. Hey, the breaking news I brought to you last week? What was it, Corey? You remember I told you what the next thing to fly off the supermarket shelves was?
It was gym equipment?
No. Booze.
Oh, yeah.
I told people to start, and this week's been fucking crazy with people. I'm telling you now, they're buying their own sanitizers, Corey. They're making their own sanitizers.
And drinking plenty of piss.
At the same time.
Yeah. Oh, God. A couple of other things we could probably do. Probably get a couple of Patreon members on a pod maybe one week. Have a chat with a couple of them.
Yeah. That is kind of within, well, we might need to speak off here because I'll tell you now, if Daz is appearing, Corey, we might have a few issues.
Surely AFL players, if they're staying at home, they've got nothing better to do. They could probably jump on a couple of pods with us.
Well, I'm sure they got a headset or two. I'm a bit disappointed Mitch Robinson didn't join some of our leagues this year, Corey. So if he's listening out there, Mitch Rob, or any of our listeners, just tag him. Just say, hey, mate, do a pod with the elites.
Yeah, that's it. Let's just try and get us. There's got to be surely a couple of the younger players, would have been a couple of Supercoach players over the years. They can come on and jump on. Brett's favourite man, Matt Rowell. Did Brett start Rowell in the end, do you know?
I believe so. I can't confirm that. I believe so. As well, my fucking opponent this week, Corey, he did not have fucking Dylan Robertson.
Yeah, me neither.
What the fuck is that?
I know.
Where are these guys getting off thinking, well, to be fair, I mean, we look like the dickheads because we're the ones that started him. But, without seeing that game on the weekend, I mean, where are they getting off thinking fucking not starting Dylan Robertson?
Maybe they just thought that he wouldn't play.
Oh, like that Nuffy on Twitter that's going around saying, Robertson's not even in their best 22. Remember that guy?
Yeah, well, clearly now he's probably right after the fucking shit he put out on the weekend.
That'll fucking shit me because that's full Nuff.
Well, there is literally nothing you can do about that.
Well, mate.
You know what? In the worst part, he's had 4 touches in the first 10 minutes.
Did he?
Yeah. He fucking got off to a flyer and they just didn't see the ball.
7 touches for the game.
Yeah. Just shit.
Wasn't good enough. What did you think of the footy, actually, as a spectacle and, the no crowd and all that kind of stuff?
I was just happy that there was footy back. The no crowd put a massive fucking... it was weird. It was weird. It was very, very weird.
Did you feel like it was as bad as everyone ringing up SCN, makes it out to be?
No. No, it was good to have footy.
It was fantastic.
And I think the Americans that were watching really helped, that they were just talking about what a spectacle it was and how good it was and how they couldn't believe they'd never heard of the game before. And so that kind of lifted the spirits of the no crowd as well.
You know what I enjoyed though? It reminded me, back in under 10s, under 11s, because just the noise of the game just made it feel like, local footy when you only had the parents standing around the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was that just kind of feel, it's not that roar you get from a crowd when a goal was kicked, but the celebrate, just the noise from the place. Mate, honestly, all that was missing was a fucking few beeps from a car horn, mate. And, that would have taken me right back to under 10s.
What I did like hearing was the crunches of the bodies, hitting each other hard.
I've never heard, honestly, when someone hit the post, going for goal, it was like, oh man, it was huge.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Oh,
I
no.
actually quite enjoyed it. Look, I had nothing. I don't have anything negative to say about what happened
No,
on the
I
weekend.
was just happy that it was footy.
I was happy it was back. You know, it reminded me of my childhood. Oh Jesus, in a small way. And look, we had a good round of footy. A couple of close finishes as well on the scoreboard too.
Yeah, I mean, the Freo Essendon game, skills weren't high, but it was, kind of good game to watch. And
Yeah, the Adelaide game. Tex had a shot with about 40 seconds to go to make them win, and so that was. And those games were kind of back to back, weren't they as well? And
yeah,
North and St Kilda put on a beauty as well. I
yeah,
thought.
that was a cracker. But yeah, it was good to have footy back, and now we've got to wait what feels like another whole pre-season. So basically, essentially, what we waited for when Supercoach opened is what we're waiting for again.
Yeah, and we have absolutely no word about, whether we're going to be given, unlimited trades at some point or wild card kind of tokens to use and those kind of things. Unfortunately, we're just a podcast here and got no official say with the people at HQ. But I'll tell you now, people, if people at HQ knew what was good for them, they probably would consult with us.
Yeah, I think Supercoach is putting out another article again this year that we've been asked to fill out a bit of a questionnaire for as well.
Yep. No, that's right. Yep. And yeah, so we'll get another little look into the Herald Sun, won't we, Corey?
Yeah. So
we'll play KFC Supercoach. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be a smartass because it's my job this year to answer those questions. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to be a smartass when I reply to them, and I'm just going to say something like, "Nah, what do you look for in a player or something like that?" I'm just be like, how many buckets he can smash, How many pieces of original recipe can he get through in one sitting?
Pretty sure it says that questions may be altered to suit their viewing, so I don't think that's...
Oh, does it? Yeah. No, they'd love... Hey, the sponsors would love it, mate. The people down at KCF, Corey.
Yeah, KCF, very good. But, yeah. Look, Bonfz, we haven't really talked too much about Supercoach, but we've got 9 weeks to fill it in. You happy to leave it there?
I'm happy to leave it here, and I just hope, Corey, that the CEOs of our company here at the Elites, they can, they just kind of get through this tough period, that we still get our paychecks, Corey, because that's very important. And, maybe we give them the flexibility to work from home. We'll see how that goes.
Potentially. I'll see you in the office on Monday. But yeah, Elites, look, basically stay safe, stay indoors. If you get sick, don't give it to anyone. That's some good advice there.
And our deepest sort of, thoughts go with those that may have family members or friends affected at this time.
Especially with, the virus itself or jobs, etc. So just be safe, everyone. And on behalf of Bonfz, I'll even say Brett today, and myself, and our patrons at patreon.com/SC Elites. Peace out, community. Thanks for listening.